What's up guys and girls, welcome to another video. Today I have a good one for you. I have this, the Miles GPS. And I also have another one, which means a lucky subscriber will be winning one of these, and I will tell you how you can enter the competition at the end of the video. Now it may be small in stature, but it's packed full of features. In this video we're going to be unboxing, we're going to be looking at all those features, then looking at some features in depth, such as the power estimate. Yes, it will give you a power estimate as you are riding. We're also going to look at connectivity with the Raz Pro tail light. I also done a video on that. There is also a mobile application which we'll be looking at where you can set up the app and all the data screens. So as always, I don't want to waste your time. I have added timestamps so you can jump to the part of the video that best suits you. It is going to be a good one, peeps, and again, stay tuned to the end for a chance to win. So first things first, let's get this little beauty out of the box. So we have it nicely packaged, to be honest. Pretty sleek, pretty simple. We have a little sleeve here, so let's get that out there. Nice. Pop that to one side. Oh, we like that. From zero to hero. Nice little touch, Shanren. Let's get it out of here. So let's open it up. We got the manual in here and we have the device itself. So very sleek, very light. Nice, we like it, we like it. It's got the Garmin mount, just the mount at the back. Got a nice little screen covering as well on here. So let's take that off. What else do we have in the box? We have a charge cable. And we also have, this must be a little mount. And we've also got 1, 2, 3, 4 bands. We've got a little protector that goes underneath. You know, there's lots of stuff, everything you will need. So really impressed, lovely little device. Honestly, it's looking divine. I'm really impressed with that so far. So let's take a look at all the features. Now it charges by USB, which is just on the back here. So that's a USB mini. And it takes 2.5 hours to charge. And for those 2.5 hours of charge, you get 22 hours of battery life, which is really, really good. That's a long old time. Now the size is relatively small. Let's compare it to some Garmin devices to give you guys and girls some context. Now this is a Garmin 5 series, this is a Garmin 8 series. That's the sort of sizing that it's going to be. Kind of similar width as well, not too dissimilar. So yeah, that gives you an idea, peeps. And the screen size on this is 2.1 inches. It's also a very lightweight device. It is only 65 grams, so super light. It also has GPS tracking, so you can track your rides. It doesn't have real-time maps, so display on screen, but we'll look at that more a little bit later. It does have Bluetooth and ANT+, so you can connect all the sensors basically to this device. You can display power meter data as well, and you can obviously sync your data up via Bluetooth to the app. So it's quick to sync up your rides and see how fast or how slow you've ridden. Now one really cool feature is the power estimation. What this is going to do is estimate your real-time power using the algorithm, your cadence, speed, etc. We can also connect this to the Raz Pro. That is the rear tail light, and the reason why we can connect that is to give us our braking warning. The Raz Pro can do that itself, the tail light, but with this it's going to be more accurate, and as you're decelerating, the brake light will come on. So that's pretty cool as well. We'll look at that in more detail later in the video. Shanren have an app for all their products, so what I'm going to be doing is looking at the app and looking what we can customize on the Miles GPS. So we'll do that next. Okay, so to connect the Miles GPS to the app, we need to make sure that this is turned on. So I've turned that on, and I'm just going to load up the app. Now I'm going to go to the main screen. You can see up here we've got devices in the top left. Let's click on that. Now we want to add a new device. We're going to look for the Miles GPS, which is shown down here at the bottom. Let's click on that, click start scanning, and there we go, it's connected. So let's click on that. Please wait. There we go, GPS is connected. So let's go back and go to devices. We got the Miles and we're in. So we can see we have the backlight. So if we come in here, we can have close, we can have constant on or auto. So I'm going to put constant on. You can see there we have the device lit up. And if I put this up, it's going to get much brighter. So you can see it changing there. You can leave it to auto if you like, and that's going to auto adjust for you. Next up, we have the bike settings. Now I'm just going to select road bike here, customize display. I'm going to look at this in a little bit because it's quite in depth. So I'm just going to go back for now. We've got elevation calibration. So you put your current elevation, which I believe is around 0 for me. So if we do that, power, we've got power estimation. You've got to put in here your FTP settings. So this is your functional threshold power. I know mine is 2 88, I think it is. I can't remember now. Let's click OK on that. Then we also have units that we want, so kilometers an hour, miles per hour, Celsius or Fahrenheit, which is displayed on here as well. Actually, we do have the temperature, which is a really nice feature. We've got advanced settings as well, so we can see a sensor list or list of sensors that are connected. Now let's look at the juicy stuff and go into the customized display. So I'm going to click on customized display, and that's going to take us in. So what have we got here? We have 1, 2, 3, because there are 3 screens that can be displayed. And when you're using the device, you can simply click the button on the bottom right of the device, and that is going to flick through the screens. It will show you what currently you have. So for example, anything on red here, so click the red area to do the settings. So if I click on red there, I can change that to move time or slope. So I'm going to leave that as move time, kilometers or elevation. We got RPM, revolutions per minute, or maybe our power or left and right balance. So that's all good. So we'll go next, and now we can change some more. So here we have move time or slope. So slope, I'm going to pick. We have trip distance or elevation. I'll go trip distance. And we have our cadence, power, or left and right balance. Let's stick with left and right balance, which is a cool feature to have on an affordable GPS. So those settings done, let's go next. Again, we can change slope or move time. It's kind of customized settings, so you can just basically pick different pages for different setups basically. So whenever you want, you can swap between them. For an affordable GPS, as I say, there's lots of features on this. It's surprising how many features there are and what they've jam-packed in. Pretty impressed so far. So as well as all the settings in the app, you can also adjust some settings on the device itself. So if we hold down the stop start and this button on the right hand side together, that puts us into the sensor settings or sensor connectivity. So if we skip through that using this button, we're just going to jump through, so 3. Now we are on to, for example, here we have wheel diameter, so we can set that on the app. If we go next, that allows us to just go through where we can then change. So now we've got miles per hour, or if we wanted to change that, we can change that to kilometers an hour. So you can do that on here. Now we also have our weight, so it's in pounds currently, so 176 pounds for me. The start stop button here is what allows you to change. On to 4, which is a temperature. So you can see up here we've got this F, which is Fahrenheit. If we change that, that changes to Celsius, so nice as well. If we go here, we've got road, and we've also got a mountain bike config, so we can swap between them two. So we've also got the GPS, so we can turn the GPS on and off if we want. And then we have the beep, so this beep sound that you can hear at the minute, we can turn that on and off as well. And we have our FTP settings, so I can put my FTP in here, again to get through. Then we have our zones, which is a time zone, which is going to help determine the time that is displayed on the device. Next up, we have the actual time settings, so 8 minutes past 5, which is correct for me here. Nice that you can customize a lot of the settings on the actual device. So the Miles GPS can connect with this, which is the Raz Pro. This is a smart tail light, which can also be controlled through the app. I've done a full video on this. I will leave a link to that in the description below. Do check that out after this video. Now I want to pair this with this. And the reason I want to do that is because as this is decelerating, it's going to know we're slowing down. This is going to give a brake warning. So normally say this is flashing red. When this knows we're slowing down, they communicate. This goes to a solid bright red. So people know you're stopping. Okay, so to start the pairing process, first things first, what we need to do is put this Miles GPS into pairing mode by pressing the 2 buttons down at the bottom. There we go, perfect. Now we can swap between the different sensors. So here, so at the minute that's speed, but I believe that's the Miles GPS there. Now we're good to go. So press this bottom left to start the pairing process. And then let's turn this on. There we go. So number 6, and hopefully that will connect. We're connected up. So you can see there is a flashing light here on the Miles GPS, which is really, really good. So that lets you know that the light's actually working. Okay, so I've just done a couple more tests of the brake warning light, and it's working really well, to be honest. Every time I was braking, perfect. So with it synced up to the GPS, the light synced up to the GPS, it works much better than the light on its own, to be honest. So I'm really impressed with that, really, really good. It also has the bump warning, which the light basically, when you go over a bump, what happens there is the light flashes white. and I can see a little white flashing LED on the GPS. So we've got bump warning and we've got brake warning. Next up, let's look at the connectivity of sensors. Now the Miles GPS connects to everything you would need. So let's look at that. Now to get into the sensor pairing, you press both of these two buttons in. So let's do that. And you can see we're into the sensor pairing settings. Now on the left hand side here, this is what it's currently searching for. So here we have, for example, speed. If we press this, we're now onto cadence. Speed cadence, if you've got a combi one. Then we also have a heart rate monitor, and we also have power. So you can connect to all of those types of sensors. So I'm just gonna click out of that to take us back, and I'm gonna go back in, and I'm gonna go to, we have speed. I wanna connect, because it's first on the list, cadence. So let me hop on the bike. Now the reason why I actually hop on the bike is because you need to have your sensors active when you are pairing them. If you have a cadence sensor, you need to be pedaling so that it's actually submitting a signal, because normally they go to sleep. Same with a heart rate monitor. So now I'm just gonna click play there, and that is now looking to pair the cadence sensor. So there we go, success. Straight away it's connected. So nice and easy on that one. Next up we have, let's go to the heart rate monitor. So I'm currently wearing the heart rate monitor, I have it on. So let's click play and see how it connects to that. So it's pairing. Success again. So straight in, it's just paired with the heart rate monitor. So that's two that is just connected with straight out the box. So really impressed with that. This is a really nice interface for the sensor connectivity. How are we doing, peeps? I'm out using the Shanren Miles GPS for the first time, and I'm impressed. It did take some getting used to, and there's a few things that I'm used to maybe on other GPSs that aren't on this, but once you get used to it, it's really good. Now, first things first are the cues for when a ride started or when a ride stopped. But that was my error really. There's a little icon on there by the speed. I'll show that on screen now. And basically what that means is whether you're starting, whether you're actually recording, or whether the ride is stopped or whether it's paused. Once I knew and understood, it was then clear. But when I first set off, I didn't know. If I'd looked at the manual, probably would have. Also, the three screens have three different settings for the speed. One is max speed, one is average speed, and one is current speed. I didn't realise that either. I'm sure it says that in the app. And also the screen is really clear and really easy to see. It's super bright. It's got that kind of Wahoo screen where it's like high contrast almost. So I'm really impressed with the screen brightness. Now onto the power estimation. Now I don't have a power meter, so it's not a direct comparison. However, I've been riding with my friend today, Robin. He has a power meter. So what we've done, we lined up side by side, put some power down, and that gives us a rough estimation. Now, I think that is pretty accurate, to be honest. There is only one downside, and that is there is a slight delay. So about a 3 or 4 second delay if you're really putting the power down. If you're consistently putting power down, then it stays quite good and quite consistent. You don't notice it. But if you suddenly sprint, it takes like a few seconds to kind of get up to what your power actually is. But overall, to estimate your power, I mean, that's pretty awesome. It's pretty neat feature, especially considering power meters are like upwards of £300 all the way up to God knows what. I am back from the ride, and now what I'm going to do is sync up the ride data with the Shanren app, because it gives you lots of interesting and good information. I'm also going to try and sync it to Strava. Okay, so let's open up the app. There we go. And what we want to do is make sure the device is turned on. If the device is not turned on, the Bluetooth's not on, they will not sync. Then in the device, we want to come to download, and we're going to have Miles, the GPS there. So let's click on Miles, and we can see all of our activities. Now, this one at the top is showing as not downloaded yet, so not downloaded to the device. So if I click download, what that's going to do is download it, and there we go, it has been downloaded. Now I've done this with my ride from this morning, which was the 1051. So what I'm going to do is go back and click on records down at the bottom here in the middle. Click on records, and there we go. We can see that this one here, 30.26 kilometers, is the one that we want. So this is the route that we had. I went around the track, so we can see it is on the map, and this is what you will see, the route on your map like that, which is awesome to see, so you can come in and have a look. We've also got stats. Now this is where it gets interesting for me, because to see your stats like this in this much detail is very good, and we've got a lot of information in here. If you want to get a lot of this information from Strava, for example, you have to pay for Strava, so it's really interesting. Now what we have is times, so total time, move time, start time, end time. We've got speed, so average, moving, average, and then max. Got heart rate, so max heart rate, average heart rate. Elevation stats, we've got our power stats. Now, interestingly here, it gives you the averages. So it reckons my average power was 191 for that ride. And I think that is pretty accurate. Interesting stats, you get a lot of information on your rides. Now we've also got analytics, and this is speed and elevation here. So the percentage of the ride that was uphill, the percentage that was flat, and the percentage that was downhill. You can see that on the graph there, speed versus elevation. Next up, we have heart rate and sort of your zones, if you like. So max, anaerobic, fat burning, recovery is how it categorizes them on the app. Then we've got power stats down below. So you get a lot of good information for free, and information and data that you can use over time to help you improve your riding. Now what I want to do is actually connect with Strava. So we want to come up to the top right here, I believe, and we've got Strava there. So I want to click on Strava. So Strava is not authorized. I haven't synced Strava with the Shanren app. So I'm just going to click OK, connect with Strava. I'm just going to skip through this step, so next time you see me, it will be all connected. And there we go, Strava authorized success. So uploaded successfully. So let's head to Strava. Let's go into Strava there, and you can see my ride is there. It doesn't have a name. I believe you can rename it in the Shanren app, then it's going to use that name. It is time to give one away. So I have a brand new one here. I've not opened it at all. Shanren, a big thank you to them. They sent out 2 devices. I asked them if I could give one away and they said yes. So to enter the competition and have a chance of winning this Shanren Miles GPS, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and leave a comment down below. You can leave any comment you like. So do those 3 things: subscribe, like, and comment, and a winner will be picked at random, and this will be sent out to you completely free of charge, peeps, completely free. So that rounds up the video. What a good one today. I thoroughly enjoyed using this. Shout out to Shanren for sending these out and letting me give one away to one of you lucky subscribers. Until the next one, peeps, as always, self-love and safe riding.